Alrighty, this here is the idle air control valve, and today I'm going to remove it to show you how to install a restrictor plate. Now, firstly you want to remove this sensor here. Typically you'd unplug the battery, but we ain't going to do all that. Next, you want to get your 10 mil here on your little ratchet. Don't drop it, you won't ever see it again. And just start getting these bolts loose. One on top, one on the bottom, really only two aside from the hoses, which ain't terrible. Now these clamps are either an 8 or you can get a flathead or Phillips head screwdriver and just undo them like that. Both of these got to come out. These are just evap hoses coming from the intake. Little charcoal canister or whatever that's called goes straight here to the idle air control valve, and then this one here bypasses the control valve completely, going straight into the throttle body. But that doesn't really pertain to what we're doing here. Once you got that guy off, just keep the bolts into bolt holes and make sure the gasket stays with it. You don't want to lose any of them. Then you take your little restrictor plate here, literally out of a energy drink can, just like that one. This hole here is the restricted inlet port. As you can see, this one was already installed, but get the focus going here. This is, you can kind of tell how the original hole once was. It's pretty big, I would say, but we restricted it down to, I believe it was 9/32 of an inch, if I'm correct, which it changed how much the car would rev, I would say, to a pretty good degree. Not enough, I would say, in my opinion, but it does indeed make a pretty good difference. And you can literally make these for the cost of like $3. Literally just buy a can of soda or something like that, get yourself a drill bit to drill out the bolt holes, and then pick a drill bit of your sizing to drill out the inlet port hole. It's really that simple. This is only my first version, so it's pretty jank looking, but it did fit, it did work. I've driven the car with it for a couple 100 miles and it did pretty good. That is what the part of the throttle body would look like without an idle air control valve, just for keener reference here. This is what she'll look like when she's off. I already showed y'all, but still, don't hurt. And don't do what I just did. Shit. And after fishing around for about 20 minutes, I finally got it back. Again, don't do what I did. It will dramatically increase the time that this project takes, which should only be like 5 minutes, but we got it, so we're back on track. And now you just kind of put it on like so. Make sure it isn't on backwards, because you can easily do that without paying attention and completely clog up your system and your car won't run at all. But yeah, once you got that on, you just put it back on the exact same way you found it. So the sensor's gonna be going to that side of the car and upright like so, and yeah. All right, we got it all back together now. Didn't really take too long, as you can see in the video time. Yeah, staring all at your work, and then when you're ready, fire the car up and see. And now my favorite part, we get to hear the car go vroom. Oh yeah. Ignore the Christmas tree down below, but observe how the car is now sitting at over 1,000 RPMs. That is going to die down a little bit, but for the most part it is going to stay relatively at the 1,000 range. Before, it would stay at around 800 to even as low as 700 RPMs, which is pretty normal. But because we installed this restrictor plate, it is now forcing more air to travel through the system, causing the car to rev higher. As we warm up, it's going to dip down to 1,000. That's fine. But since we have oil pressure, which is always a good thing, we're gonna gave you us a little gurgle. Yeah. It travels pretty good. I like that. That went down pretty quick. It does kind of hang out at around 1500 RPMs, but then once the car recognizes it's idling, it'll kind of sit just above 1000. So I'd say that's quite nice. Not too shabby.